Okay, next one up is our selection tool. And typically, you can see the W's are here. In an older version, what you're going to see is this, the magic wand. These other items don't exist in the older versions, but this one might, depending on which version you're using. But for sure, magic wand. So I'm going to start there just to give you an idea of how this works. Like again, you might not use this much, but every once in a while I do use it. So I'll go ahead and show it to you. So the magic wand needs parameters. The parameters right now is a tolerance level of 30. So I'm going to show you what that does. So if I click on that and I'm clicking in the image, you can see that certain areas are being picked up. In this one, it particularly chose that pocket. Here it's going to choose more because there's more for it to choose from, and they're able to travel because there's no section between them. Now what you can do is if you hold the shift key, you can add to your selections. And so, if you wanted to get all those dark pieces, you could, right? I'm going to deselect now. Now, if I chose 100, when I click, it's choosing a lot because it has far few barriers in terms of what colors I'm allowed to choose. Now, if I go to 10, deselect and try again, you can see again that what it's choosing is a very, very small amount. I can also click and, again, use your shift key in this case to select more spaces, but basically the smaller the number, the more careful it is about its selection. And so what you can do here, if you were wanting, some of these dark spaces, you go ahead and hit copy with Command C or Control C, and then you can copy those particular things. Then, and a use for that, I guess I could say, is to be able to darken something or lighten something or change its color, or you maybe just want to borrow shapes. Those are all, good reasons for it. I would stick to point sample. You can choose the different averages. Those are different ways to see what it will allow you to choose from, but typically the more control that you want, this, you just go by point sample instead. The next step here is good to go up to the quick selection tool, and this one, instead of being it's being controlled by the size of brush. So if you click here where it says 11, that's the size I have. You can go quite up, up quite. You can see the size of the brush is quite large. And if I click in a sample area, basically anything within that zone that looks similar-ish, it's picking it. So if I choose a smaller one, and I'm doing a deselect again, you can, it's still pretty good about, and it's adding to the selection right now. I'm not doing anything. I'm just continuing clicking, so it assumes I want to add to my selection. You can also actually push the shift key. Minus key is like what we did before for the other selection. Is if you do minus, it'll do less. Plus will add more. You can just click up these, or you can actually choose with your other, like I said, either your shift or option keys. So I'm going to go ahead and go down a size. You can also choose, less hardness, and you'll get more of a fuzzy selection. I'll go ahead and do that for you so you can see what that means. So it's a little bit of a fuzzier edge on there. I'll go all the way down just to give it more obvious. We'll see how that looks different. Yeah, it doesn't look a lot different. Okay, so, and then the last one here is the object selection, which to be honest is a new tool. I haven't yet figured out the benefits of it. It has a lasso function, which, again, it's whatever you circle it'll choose the things that are similar to it. Or if you choose the rectangle selection, it's kind of still doing a similar thing. So just up to you and what your needs are, and it requires just some testing out. Every image is a little bit different.